Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Nadia. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. I am a mama of 5. It ranges from 8 years old to an almost 1-year-old. So that's what you're getting into in this channel. My kids are having quiet time, so I thought this was the perfect time to talk about screen free. We have been doing a decretion of screens for a few years now, I'd say. But I do want to say we are, for the majority of the time, a screen-free family. I believe my children will watch screens maybe twice, up to 4 times a month. 4 times is already a lot for us. I'll share a little bit of my reasonings as to why we don't do screens, and then some tips that maybe can help you if you're trying to eliminate screens, okay? So screens in our family is reserved for occasional use. So we don't do screens in the middle of the day, and then we rarely have screens as a movie night, and if we do, then it's a family kind of event. Most of the time my kids get to watch screens. For example, if I'm out on a date with my husband, they get a 30-minute show with grandparents. Or for example, this Friday night, we're going to a wedding, and it's gonna take up a good chunk of the day. Now, I know watching 5 little kiddos for some grandparents could be a lot. My mom handles it like a champ. But I do allow a show or a movie, depending if they've had any screen time in the past couple weeks, then it might be a movie. Otherwise, it's most likely just a 30-minute show. And we have very strict regulations on which shows my children can watch. Now, the reason we don't do screens in our home is honestly because I don't like the effects of it. That's the main reason. So the main reason, I feel like it was just making more work for me. My kids were very irritable after watching a show, especially after watching a movie. We had tantrums right away. It was harder with listening. Their attention spans are like quick tempered. All right, next one is, honestly, it's hard to find really good shows right now that align with your values. And then with like my problem with some biblical cartoons is I feel like, I know I'm gonna probably get some hate, but I do feel like some biblical cartoons mock God and mock kind of the stories of God, and then also just inaccuracy. So kids are very visual, and when they see a Bible story that's in visual form, that kind of gets ingrained in them, and I've had instances where I've had to rewire that thought process. So those are the 2 main reasons we don't do screens. A big reason also is developmentally. There's a lot of studies out there that exposing the child to a huge quantity of screen time can have negative effects on their speech, on their development, and those are kind of the biggest reasons, okay? So I am a stay-at-home mom. I am a homeschooling mom, so that means I am around my kids 24/7. Now, you might be thinking, Nadia, how do you do it? A while ago, we used to have more screens, and then I noticed a lot of behavioral stuff, so we just cut them out for a long time completely. But now I feel like I can regulate it and give some screens occasionally. But I have some tips for you guys. I think I wrote them down because, you know, mom brain, and that's why I'm having my 2nd cup of coffee today. But I feel like I'm avoiding the work of the tantrum or like the overstimulation afterwards by just eliminating screens overall. In the beginning, I'd say if you are doing this, starting off and your kids are used to screen time, it's gonna be a little tough. But I think in the beginning, if you're a little bit more creative, it might ease up like that transition. So here's some things that we do. My kids are now kind of in their own habit of that, and they just know not to ask for screens because it's a no, so they don't even ask. One thing is to set out an invitation. So setting out a play invitation or an art invitation. So oftentimes I will set out a board game. or I will set out a puzzle piece. Also setting out an art invitation. So you can put some craft paper or painting paper. Okay, iди na yo, iди Rahit, быстренько. My kiddos are coming in and back and forth from this room. So I oftentimes set out paint or color pencils or crayons, and they can either paint or draw. I have a really great trick for saving money on coloring books. I just go online and print coloring pages. That way it's fresh and new every single time, and I just print a bunch of coloring pages, put them on the table, and after school they can do that. Also, next one is outdoor time. During the summer, this is a non-negotiable. Even in the winter, we bought snowsuits for the winter, so they wear those when it's cold outside. They just put on a sweater. That way I know they're all fully warm, and they go out and play for a couple hours. So outdoor is a huge one. After lunch, I usually send the kids outside, and they will spend anywhere from some days 2 hours, some days like 6 hours outside. My only requirement is that we get school done. Otherwise, they can just hang out outside. They obviously have to be in the backyard where I can see them. If they're in the front yard, then I have to go outside with them, but they're fully content in the backyard. Outdoor is an amazing tool to utilize if you want to be screen-free. Also, just going on walks. During the summer, we go on walks. We go to the parks, and I take my computer or a book, and I just sit and read while they all play. So that's awesome. Next one is to incorporate quiet time. Now, for the most part, during the week, we have quiet time. Occasionally, we skip on quiet time, and that's just because, life is that way. But we instill quiet time so the little ones go to sleep. The older ones can either play a board game. They can just sit, read. Honestly, it doesn't matter what they do. They just have to be quiet. If they choose to go outside and play, that's fine. My only rule is they all are separated because I notice we are around each other 24/7. So I feel like even children need a little bit of independence. So separating them during quiet time for a couple hours is phenomenal. Does it always last the full 2 hours? No, they usually come together and play. But if they do come together, then my rule is everyone has to stay very quiet. So this gives me time to have some time to myself, gives them a screen-free option. They can do whatever they want in that. Sometimes occasionally I'll put out some crafts for them to do, but otherwise it's up to them. They got to learn how to entertain themselves. Okay, a huge contribution to our screen-free environment in the past couple years has been a Yodel player. Prior to our Yodel player, we just used audiobooks online on YouTube. Now, if you don't know what a Yodel player is, it's basically a screen-free box that you insert a card, and it reads you a story. Now, you can upload stories onto there, or you can buy the cards that already have stories on them from the Yodel, shop. So it's all different kinds of books that they just put in and they listen. And there's also a radio option. I've also done where I've connected it to my phone, and they have their 2 podcasts that they really enjoy. That's specifically for kids. So the Yodel player has been an incredible tool for being screen free. They take it into the car. We took it on our California road trip, which was 17 hours, and for the whole trip, and we traveled for basically 3 days because we stopped at night because we had a newborn. The last 2 or 3 hours of our entire trip, the kids got screen times. I was pretty impressed with them, and I was really proud of them. And honestly, I was impressed and proud of me and my husband that we lasted that long. So, and the Yodel player came in extremely handy. Honestly, I wish at that time we had the headphones and we had also the little one too, so that it could be more individualized. Okay, Another thing that we do to eliminate screen times, especially if they are asking for screens, I say it's reading party. So we all grab a couple books. Usually I'll read a couple books to them, and then they'll individually sit, and obviously whoever can read, and then the other ones just basically flip through books. You can make this special by giving them a little snack. Sometimes I'll do like Ziploc baggies of like pita chips or raisins, or what else can we do? Oh, carrots. I've done carrots in the past, or some kind of fruit or vegetable that will not get dirty on the couch. And that's like basically the only time they'll ever have food on the couch. So it's like very special that mommy's letting them eat something on the couch. But reading parties are really fun. And especially when the little ones, they just get so indulged into the book, and they're just like sitting there, and before you know it, an hour has passed and they're all just still looking at books. So reading parties is just something I've noticed with all of these basically is if you as the mama is excited when you present this, the kids get excited. So I think us having a really good attitude, oh, we're gonna be screen free, and explaining just how exciting it is to the kids, I think the kids just kind of catch on really fast. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know down below if you are trying to be a screen free family. If you have tips, please share them down below. We can kind of just all exchange tips down below. And I am so excited for all the new faces that are joining our little community. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for sticking around till the end of this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.